Call me a sucker, but an annual discount for signing up for the latest sports package gets me every time, even if it's a 2-year contract. This is Derek.
I'm Devin.
You can call me Joe.
Welcome to Call Me a Sucker, where friends talk about things the internet made them buy, appropriate ridicule included. This week, Devin is going to tell us why he isn't a sucker for buying into expensive items that make him happy each Saturday in the fall. Without further ado, here's Devin.
Why, thank you. I think this is a couple times here in the past several weeks we've talked about TV packages here in the teaser. Joe, the last one was yours. We thought you were talking about an Apple TV package or something of that nature.
Yeah. I can't tell you how the pendulum has swung back from cutting the cable to, how like everybody was cutting the cable to save money. I have effectively gone the completely other way, where it's now costing me more money, even though I'm just streaming everything, because gotta have everything.
That's what happens. And that's what the intro inspiration was this past week. I was trying to watch a football game that I wanted to watch, and I did not have the channel. And then I tried to call my cable company. Well, first I tried to find out online what package I needed, and I couldn't find the package, so I tried to call. And this was very frustrating. The first Saturday, I ended up just going to a bar. And number one, going to a bar, at least in my town, at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon makes you feel really good about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I was amazed at how many people were just slurring everywhere and offering to buy other people shots. Like, this is
really?
like a sports bar downtown. And I was like, I haven't been around that type of thing in forever. And I just felt better about myself for having a couple beers on a Saturday afternoon now.
Yeah, you need to get back with your people, Devin. You've been high rolling a little bit too long. You need to get back and rub elbows with the real people out there.
I guess that's what it must have been.
Anytime Scott Van Pelt sees somebody like famous starting to bald but holding on to hair, he tells them, like, over Twitter, he's like, "Come home." He's like, "Just come home." He's like, "Come home to the bald crew. Like, it's okay. It's okay."
Are you saying that was like a little teasing to where I'm really meant to be, Joe? I'm meant to be in that sports bar every Saturday afternoon at 3?
Yes.
Come home.
Come home.
I imagine Devin strolling into that bar at 3 p.m. on a Saturday wearing a fully buttoned up blue dress shirt with a white collar on it, asking for a Johnny Walker Blue and making them change the channel to whatever game he wanted to watch.
No, I want to watch Connecticut versus Army. When was the last time have you ever seen me wear something of that nature, though? That's a bit too far.
Yeah, that's true. That's not really your style. You probably rolled up in there with cargo shorts, Tevas, and high tube socks. That's probably more like it.
Not too far off. I'll take that.
Yeah, you're not evildoer white guy. Like, that's the colored shirt with white collar is like evildoer white guy type of stuff.
Yeah, it's Office Space Boss.
Yeah,
that's who that
for
is.
For sure.
This is completely bought into just making other people's lives worse for the rest of his life into the corporate culture. No, I was in there just to have a couple beers and watch a football game, and then all I know is I was wearing a Clemson shirt, and an Alabama guy says, "Hey, sorry, it's been a couple of rough years for you. Let me buy you a tequila shot."
Hello.
Yeah, and then things kept on going from there. But
did you get any wings or jalapeno poppers? Anything else? I love getting bar food. I'm a big bar food fan.
What's the go-to? What's the number one go-to on bar food?
It's going to be buffalo wings.
That's
and raw fries.
That's right.
And this is very controversial in my household because I like them crispy.
Oh yeah,
Danielle, Danielle likes them a little floppy.
Yeah, I'm on the floppy side. Also with bacon. A little floppy on the bacon too, please.
Oh no,
Crisp.
Actually, I'll eat any bacon, but I would prefer it crispy. And we just saw an Instagram hack on how to make perfectly flat, crispy bacon. I'll be doing that later this week. I'll let you know how it goes.
Any hacks on crispy or perfectly flat floppy bacon? Because if so, please send me that.
I guess you just don't cook it as long.
Maybe so. Now the no food here at my special outing in the Charlotte suburbs. But I will tell you, the thing that I am presenting today that I may or may not have been a sucker for getting, you two will be the decision makers on this, was something that I do use quite often now on Saturdays to make food while watching games. So that may be the first hint there.
Okay.
Or it's not a maybe, that was the first hint, I suppose.
Are you soliciting guesses right now? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So wait, is the first hint that you're cooking stuff or you're watching stuff? Like you're cooking things in this, or is it? I was we were walking down the streaming. If it was a streaming service, we were gonna.
Are you watching things cook?
Well, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. Number one, bro. That's number one. All right, let's get that straight. All right, and then number two, we were walking down the streaming thing, and
Okay.
I think Joey, what inspired me to that was just the recent negotiations with my cable companies.
Mm.
You have more than one
thereof.
Well, fancy.
And so I put that on there because it's something I do often when I use this cooking appliance.
Oh, okay. Got it.
On those Saturdays.
Okay.
Maybe that clears it up a little bit here.
It does. Well, I mean, if you're looking for an initial guess, crockpot's probably too easy because I think if this is going to be some sort of new purchase, I feel like every house has a crockpot, just like I feel like they have most, 3-pan sets, 4-pan sets, 5-pan sets, whatever it may be. I feel like that's an initial first stable buy. So I don't think it's crockpot, but that's we also all live in the Southeast, and crockpots are very useful down here, but like it almost never gets really consistently cold enough to like consistently do chili. You know what I mean? Like chilly weather for us is, I don't know, November, December rather than September, October for most other places. So I don't know. I'm going to still ponder.
Is crockpot one of those genericized terms like Q-tip? Because isn't it a slow cooker? Is crockpot a brand? I don't think I've ever owned an actual crockpot, but I think the thing is actually a slow cooker.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research.
Attempt for sponsorships again? Is that what we're going for here?
Hey, sponsor Crockpot. If you are a genericized thing, send us your
Crockpot and Big Band-Aid. How you guys doing?
Yeah, Crockpot, Band-Aid, Q-tip, Coke, because there's some parts of the country that just call every type of soda Coke for some reason.
I feel like I did that.
No, you wouldn't try to order a Sprite and call it Coke, would you?
No.
Well, no, but if I was saying, hey, I'm going to go to the fridge to grab a Coke, I want to see what soda's in there, I would say that. I'm not saying, hey, I want to go to the fridge and grab a soda or a pop. I think I would say Coke.
No, I would say a soda. I would probably more specifically say exactly what I'm going to go grab. So if I'm going to go grab a Mountain Dew, then I'll do that. If I'm going to go grab a Dr. Pepper, then I'll do that. I'm not going to say I'm going to go grab a Coke and then come back with a Dr. Thunder. Not going to do that. Throw everyone asunder.
That's a little okie doke you would pull on that person if you did something like that. That'd be pretty frowned upon.
Yeah, you can't do that, Devin.
Well, I don't know. I don't think so regularly.
Hey, our behind the scenes research team says that Crockpot is in fact a brand.
Okay,
so that's an example of a genericized trademark. Which it took me 38 years to learn that. So
learn something new every day.
There we go. Now you know.
There we go. So Joe, what was your guess for what was your first impression guess? Or did you deliver one?
No, I hadn't, because I was thinking I was almost ruling out a crockpot because it's too many people have it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna riff off you then. I'm gonna go air fryer.
Air fryer.
I feel like I should do it like Mugatu and Zoolander and say air fryer. So hot right now. Air fryer.
It's true. It's true though. It's true.
It's so hot. I even got an oven with the air fryer option on it. Right? That was worth the $200 markup that I haven't used once since I bought the oven.
I'm just surprised that you were able to get an oven. It's so hard to get anything now. You got to wait for any type of appliance you try to order these days.
Well, when you roll up there with a white collar on your blue shirt, demanding things, you get things the way you want them there.
Mm-hmm. They know you're there. Just don't negotiate with me. I know what my price is going to be. I got you.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, Derek, with that, I'll give my quick review of the air fryer because somebody gave me one. I was very impressed with it, but the one that I got was like this circular, round, and more tall. But with that, like I was trying to make chicken wings, and I'm in a household of 4, but I can only make like 5 or 6 chicken wings at once with the large size one, right? Because you can't have them stacking in the air fryer. They don't get all crispy. So I was really pleased with all the results, even when I did like a small batch of fries. But you'd really need a very large air fryer to actually make a meal worth of anything for probably 2, 3, 4 people.
So it's portion control built in.
You're saying maybe that was a serving size suggestion for me.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right.
I have a bigger square one. An air fryer myself. I'm looking at it right now. I could probably make like 14 chicken wings at a time.
Ooh, have you done it before in there?
Oh yeah, all the time.
They're good. They turn out crispy. I'm
They
actually
turn out
impressed by the
fantastic.
result.
They turn out fantastic. So, I mean, if it's an air fryer, you have my answer already. We can skip to the end and save everyone some time. Is it an air fryer?
No,
Okay.
but maybe I'll change my mind if that makes me not a sucker this time.
Okay, give us the next hint. Deliver hint number
So we're
2.
wrong. We're wrong then. Obviously, we haven't. We're striking out here so far. So continue.
Yeah. So I think the next clue was something that y'all kind of brought up or somehow it got brought up. Like, if you looking, you ain't cooking. And if you do this type of cooking, you know what that saying means.
Oh, I know. Okay, is this a smoker?
It's kind of in that realm. It's in that realm.
Okay, well, that was my guess, so I'm not going to do my follow-up guess then.
Okay, well, it's okay. Yeah, all right.
Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say a smoker, but if you want something more specific, I definitely can just throw it out there for you.
Well, yeah, I think smoker's you're in the right realm there. I was looking for something a little bit more specific on that.
Mm-hmm.
A green egg.
That's a good guess. I think that's very close. All right, but that's not it. Derek, do you have your guess now?
Is it a Traeger? Is that the item?
Ding, ding, ding. We got it.
Ding, ding, ding.
We got it. He may have the advantage here because Derek may know that I already have a Traeger. So maybe he had some inside knowledge there that informed that guess, Joe. So no hard feelings. Okay.
Cooking the books.
Yep.
Cooking the books. That's what we're doing. So the Traeger, I guess, initial feedbacks, initial thoughts on that. Like, we've seen them around everywhere. They're the cool, trendy item of smoking meats these days. If you're not a real meat smoker, at least, I guess.
So I have one. I don't have a Traeger. I do my smoking through the traditional wood on my grill. That I have like an attachment on my charcoal burning grill that kind of makes it the smoker. So take me through what you're looking at for a Traeger. Pellet, whatever.
Okay. So your grill has the little side box. If you want to smoke, you put on that side and like pipes and smoke to the charcoal side.
That's right.
Those are pretty good. I've had one of those before in the past. So
what happened to that one?
Well, maybe we shouldn't discuss that on this public discussion.
No one was injured. There were no humans or animals harmed in the downfall of your grill, Devin.
Did it blow up? No. No, it couldn't have.
No, it did not blow up.
It did not. It blew. It did not blow up.
It blew out.
Blew out of a truck traveling down the interstate.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll have to bleep this, but no. There we were on the way to Burlington, North Carolina to attend Ronapalooza.
Oh, no.
As we're going to Ronapalooza, we have 5 people in Tony's truck. It's me, Tony, Devin, Chuck, and Ian. Right, Devin? That's right. That was a passenger list. So we're in the truck. Before we leave Devin's house, we packed up all the bags, including the grill. And I believe Tony and Devin were the strappers that day. I can't confirm, but I imagine at least one of the two of them said, "That's not going anywhere," as they tied the last strap. Famous last words. A couple hours later, we're heading down the interstate doing about 75, 80 something, a normal rate of speed on the interstate. And there goes the grill flying out the back of the truck, doing like a double back handspring out of the bed of the truck. Cars behind us, slamming on brakes, swerving to get out of the way. Luckily, no one ran into it or wrecked or ran off the road. So Anthony slams on his brakes, gets off to the shoulder as soon as he can, throws it in reverse, is going like 40 miles an hour in reverse down the shoulder of the road now, so we can get out of the road.
I've ever been in reverse. It really was amazing to me.
Definitely the fastest ever been in reverse. What was that movie that Tom Cruise did, Jack Reacher, where he's like using the backup cam and just mowing people down? Basically, that's essentially what it was in a Toyota Tundra on the shoulder of the interstate. So we get to the grill, slam on the brakes. Everyone hops out of the car, waits for a break in the action, goes out, drags the grill out of the interstate. We put it back in there, strap it down, probably a little bit more securely this time. And then with hearts racing, definitely exceeding the recommended BPM for people in their 30s, we continue the drive and make it to Burlington with Devin's grill only semi-attached at that point.
Yes, I did not participate in the rib competition that afternoon.
So that's what happened to Devin's grill like that, Joe.
That's insane. Was it towards the end of the truck bed, like, or was it at like right behind the cab?
So what the biggest problem was is we didn't go to the sports bar and find a good old boy to help us strap it in first. That was stumbling everywhere and slurring and offering tequila shots.
I think the real problem was you didn't ask the person with experience tying down things on a ship.
No, the
to
issue
ratchet
was
that bad boy in.
I took that grill several places, many times in my truck. My truck bed was a bit wider, and so it would fit inside. And I could scoot it all the way back and secure it very tightly. And the Tundra bed was a little bit more narrow, and so it wouldn't squeeze all the way in the back. So there's like a 4-inch gap, like that we couldn't get it all the way to the back of the truck. And we're like, well, we pushed it back there. We strapped it down several places, up and down and across. But I think just riding a couple hours on the interstate, like it bumping, it like got closer, and then the straps got loose, and the straps fell off, and then that's what caused it to come out.
Dang.
So yeah, there you go.
It was really like a Final Destination scenario. The way the grill like flew out of the bed of the truck into the path of the minivan right behind us. I can't believe they missed it. Still incredible to this day. The minivan didn't run straight into that grill.
It is. So on to the motivation. So that was a good grill. I like that too, Joey. It had the gas on one half. It had that side on the other half. Like you could grill hamburgers over charcoal. You could do smoke. You use gas. You could do whatever you felt like that day that you needed. You did mention the green egg. I have had the knockoff green egg before as well.
Okay.
Well, actually, I still have that one, and I still like that for a lot of reasons. But the real motivation for getting this, so this is a pellet grill, and the way it works is you fill up the side hopper, kind of like your side, but you just fill up the side with these pellets. You plug it in, so it's electric technically to get it going, and the pellet side hopper feeds these pellets into a little burner in the main grill. And it has a fan in there too, and a temperature gauge. So literally, you just fill it up, you turn it on, and you set it to the temperature you want, almost like an oven, and it feeds the pellets and air whatever amount that it needs to keep it the temperature as long as you need it to.
That's nice.
Yes, it's very nice. And so I went to a couple of friends' houses who had this. I was like, wow, this is almost like cheating, which for me at this point in time in my life, like that was wonderful.
Of
like
course.
I could smoke something for 8 hours and just turn it on like an oven, but I still get the like wood burn smoke, right?
Yeah.
And something like yours or even the green egg, when I was smoking stuff, you had to keep an eye on it every 30 minutes, every 45 minutes, every hour, maybe feed it more charcoal, maybe turn down the air, whatever it is. And this one, the big motivation for it was like, wow, that seems really easy. You plug it in, turn it on, set the temperature, and you're done.
Yeah. And I will forever make an argument for convenience over I don't know, more traditional ways, if you want to call it something like that. Because if you're going to be smoking something, you have a family, so you're going to have to, you're at your house, obviously, right, in a situation, and you're going to have kids there, or if you're hosting people, there's going to be things there for you to do. And those traditional type of smokers, unless you're like super seasoned on how to get like wood burning and all this sort of stuff going, like you're going to constantly like think about what you need to do next. And in your case, you're almost having a tech, because I bought my dad for Father's Day years and years ago, me and my brother and sister, an electric smoker for the exact same reason. He's like, I want to smoke some stuff. And I was like, well, that's great. We can find one, but I want to make it as convenient as possible if you are going to try and do this, because I don't, how are we going to learn a new craft like smoking at, when you're walking into retirement? So, but continue. Yeah. So.
No, I agree with you. And there is something to it. Like, I will not say the Traeger flavor is as good as like the green egg or the side burning thing. Like if you do a full smoke on something, you don't get quite the smoke ring, but it's really good. I've smoked a lot of stuff on it so far, and it's really good. So with the convenience, like I'm okay with that payoff. And I still have my my old knockoff green egg, which was the Lowe's version of a knockoff, which was also a little bit more motivation for this. So I think I'm supposed to ask price first before I get into this, but I will say that was a little bit of motivation of actually getting the Traeger as opposed to the Lowe's knockoff in this situation. And because the green egg knockoff, it worked perfectly fine, but I could tell some differences in the performance compared to the real green egg.
Okay, and that led to your decision on why to go Traeger versus like say a knockoff brand?
Yep, that was about half the price. So the knockoff would be one price, Traeger would be about double that price.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I mean, in life in general, I often tell folks like you get what you pay for. Like if you go get produce from I don't know whatever, like a good grocery store, your bananas are going to last longer than if you go somewhere where they were much cheaper. Like that's just kind of how life is, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is. You got to make the decision what's best for you.
Right.
I've got a great phrase for you, Joe. It's price is what you pay, value is what you get.
Is that
That's
like a
it.
Dave? Is that straight out of like a Dave Ramsey book or something like
No.
that? Okay.
No, I think that's like what's Warren Buffett's buddy's name? Charlie Unger. Anyway, it's someone like that, just affiliated with some random internet quote person, and that's who it is.
Nice. Okay.
So
what do they call it? What do they call a fake Traeger? Do they call
Traeger.
it a faker?
Traeger.
Traeger.
Schmager.
Is this a real joke, or you?
No.
No,
I'm
that's
asking.
disgusting.
I thought you had something there for us.
I got nothing.
I thought we were doing the dad joke of the day.
The dad joke of the day.
No.
No, I don't have a dad joke of the day.
Not for the Traeger. All right. So I guess I'm supposed to talk about the pricing.
So tell me about the pellets.
Aren't you supposed to go flash impression, sucker, non-sucker?
Yeah, like what?
Well, you gotta know the price before you're on the sucker.
Okay.
No.
No.
How do you feel?
Me.
How do you feel? Do you feel like you enjoy it?
Oh, it's cheating. Like I feel like I'm cheating, Joey. Like you talk about the like traditional ways of doing things. I feel like I'm just cheating them all.
Tell me about the pellets and like so buying charcoal. You know, I know how much a bag of charcoal is, and I often buy them in those big 2-packs because you often get a bunch, and you're gonna have to buy the pellets for this. I bet when you bought the original one, it came with a bag of pellets just because you're buying a higher dollar value item. How often are you smoking? How often are you buying these things? And what's the size? What's the like? Talk me through the price of at least the pellets.
Yeah,
give me some sort of barometer.
Okay. That's fair. And so the way I typically buy the pellets, I think it's about a 20-pound bag size.
Okay.
Pretty large. It looks like one of those 50-pound bags of concrete. Like that's about the size of it. To give an example, that'd probably fill like a 5-gallon bucket of pellets. If I'm doing something quick, like less than an hour cook, I could probably cook on that bag 5, 6, 7 times. And that bag, depending on what you get and where you get it, is between $8 and $15.
Okay.
So if you're doing like hamburgers, something quick in an hour, like chicken breast or something like that, if you're not slow, like, yeah, you probably get, $2 or $3 of pellets that you're using. If you're doing an all-day smoke, like you might use half a bag, 3/4 of a bag, but you'll use a bit more. But it burns a lot slower than I thought.
Okay, and the time holds true based on your meat. So if you were to do something that takes traditionally on a traditional smoker 8 to 10 hours or whatever it may be, or something you're going to put in overnight or whatever, the timing is still the same. Like it would still take the same amount of time.
It would, yeah, because you set the temperature. Like the meat's still cooking at the same temperature. So whatever temperature you cook your meat. The cool thing, since it's electronic too, like it has the probes on there, which a lot of grills now do too, if it has any electronic capabilities. There are upgrades. I did not get the upgrades, like where you could see, like there's 2 probes that come with it that tell you the temperature of the meat. So literally, you could be anywhere and look at your Traeger through an app now and control the temperature of the grill, review the temperatures of your meats, that type of thing. But yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. Like, if you're cooking at 250, it's the same at cooking on anything else at 250 degrees in that time frame.
That's what I was going to ask you about is the app, because I have a friend that has a Traeger and she's constantly pressuring me to get a Traeger. And whenever I found out about you getting a Traeger, I mentioned that to her the last time, and she was like, "Oh well, see, your brother's doing it. You got to do it. You got to get a Traeger." And her biggest selling point was she could set a meal on the app, know exactly when it's done, not have to check anything. Kind of what Joe was saying. You can host an event. You don't have to worry about anything because you can just look at your phone and you know exactly what's going on with it.
Yeah. Okay. So I did not splurge for the app.
Oh.
Yeah. So I splurged on the Traeger, or for me, that would be a splurge.
Be where you turn down the sucker path then.
That's where I saw it. To be honest, like I think the app might be a little bit of a sucker path. Like already being able to set the temperature and just turn it on and leave it is enough.
I was thinking you might be a sucker for not getting the app.
It was several $100s more, and that was the upgrade. And like to me, like okay, like I'm already just setting the temperature and leaving it. Do I really need to see it on my phone too and adjust it? Like I don't know. That was not for me. Like that seemed like the sucker upgrade for me that really gets people. And that convenience factor for me was not there. Like if I'm grilling something that's wood burning, I'm going to be at the house while it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I want to see the temperature of the meat, I just walk out there. So I'm okay with not getting that up.
Okay.
Have you ever felt, sorry.
No, go ahead, Joe.
Have you ever felt comfortable setting something and then going to bed with it smoking, or leaving the house, or doing whatever? Like, have you done that yet?
I have not. I think I've done quick things with it because again, with the temperature and the fan control and where the fire actually is, it's probably only the size of probably 2 soda cans or Coke cans, if we will. Right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. 2 Coke cans so it's a very small like cup at the bottom of where this is burning. So it's not a huge fire like you would if you had this charcoal burning fire. I think probably for me, probably one of the downsides of a grill like this is it is a bit heavier and it's a bit harder to move. And so I have it up on my deck, which is not screened in, and I have it plugged up to the house with an extension cord. So you do have to have an extension cord. You have to have electricity for it, which could be one downside for somebody. And then it's hard with if I had another smoker or a light charcoal grill type of thing. If I wanted to do that, I could go move it farther away from the house or off the deck and do that type of thing. And this is a lot less portable. It's a lot heavier. So it does have wheels, easy to roll around, but going up and down steps, you're not going to do that a whole lot.
I think that's generally assumed with a smoker, though. I don't think that's something you need to clarify. I mean, even my dad's electric one that we bought for him, it doesn't have the pellets. It doesn't do anything. It's just like straight up electric, just like a much different type of setup. You kind of set it and that's where it's going to be.
Yeah. I would trust this, but I just haven't done it for long periods of time yet.
Okay.
But that on a lot of reviews, like when I looked it up, like a lot of people did complain about that for some reason. But I agree with you. Like if you're getting that type of thing, you kind of assume that already, I would think. But
yeah, and I kind of heard what the answer I was looking for is that you would trust it. So
yeah, I would trust it. I would trust it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm not a fan of bringing smokers places, just generally, because if you're going to a tailgate and someone has said, okay, yeah, I'll bring the smoker, well, that means they're going to get there like 8 hours before the game, smoke things for 6 hours. And so that's basically their whole deals. They're just standing by the smoker, which is fine. They can have a good time, but I feel like that's really creating a responsibility when you don't need to create a responsibility. So it not being mobile, I don't really care about.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the biggest thing is like I've heard a lot of people trying this is you it's kind of hard to grill a spider on this type of grill. But do you know what type of grills you can grill a spider on?
Lay it on us. Give it to us. Come on.
A Weber.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And I do have one for you now to counter. That's a good one to counter that one. Why would you never want
into traffic?
Why would you never want to barbecue on your roof? The stakes would be too high.
Okay.
Okay,
right.
I'll show myself out now.
Okay, we got our dad jokes in for the episode for the week.
At some point, I'm going to attach like a soundboard to my laptop and just like hit like just the boo, like that's like the crowd,
the foghorn, just
or just a general applause if I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Great. So you heard a little bit of my motivation, what I think about it initially, why I got it. So what do you think I paid for this thing?
Well, you told us the app was a few hundo.
Yeah, and grills are expensive already too.
Yeah.
So I'd guess for a smoker, I'd probably guess like $300, $350. So I'm gonna say I'll split the difference. I'll say $325.
$325. All right, Derek, what do you think?
I looked at prices on these, but it was about a year ago. So I don't know. I can't remember. My guess is $595. That's my guess. I think it's a good guess.
Oh wow.
That's Derek, you're pretty close right on. I actually don't remember the exact number. I was coming here prepared for like the 600 mark.
Okay.
That's what I paid for it. And I will say, like, some of this for me as well was we recently sold and moved houses and did really well in that first house. So this was kind of like, I've always wanted one of these things and I want a new grill. So this is like my splurge with my earnings as well. But I was really close to not letting myself get Joey. The Lowe's versions were like around that mark. So like the low.
Okay.
dollar end of the pellet grills were around that 325, 300, 350 mark. And I looked at a lot of the reviews, and a lot of the reviews talked about like little things breaking down or the quality not being as good. You use it for a year and whatever. Since it was a splurge, which I'm very bad at for myself anyways, like I had a lot of support from my wife, like I did it. So maybe a little bit of a sucker. I've really enjoyed it. With it being so easy, I grill several times a week now because it's just like turning on the oven, but you have no dishes to clean up afterwards, and you have better flavor. So
wait, did you tell us what it was?
Around 600. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. Sorry if that wasn't clear.
No. I'm just stupid. It was my fault.
Well, you are kind of hitting that meme or joke that's been floating around the internet lately that says when men hit 35, they either have to get really into World War II history or start smoking meat. You've chosen your path. I guess as your brother, I now need to get really into World War II history so we have all of our bases covered.
Yes, please do that, and don't talk about it at Thanksgiving dinner, please.
I'll be presenting a PowerPoint at Thanksgiving dinner on the Battle at Midway.
That sounds great. They'll be after the turkey, and I'll fall asleep or be drunk in the corner laughing about random things in my head.
You can smoke the turkey. No,
I'll smoke the turkey. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Oh, do you like smoked turkey or fried turkey better?
That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, throw a turkey. We had both a few Thanksgivings ago after we bought my dad the electric smoker we talked about, because I deep fried one and smoked one. And obviously one takes much longer than the other. Man, but if you put a fried turkey in front of me, I'm not going to, it's going to be the winner pretty much every time.
So good.
It's going to be the winner every time. Yeah.
Yeah. The turkey's hard to smoke. And now salmon on this Traeger is absolutely amazing.
That's what my friend was trying to sell me on.
Oh,
I don't have permission to dox her on our podcast. I'll just say her name is Cheryl. Cheryl has kids, husband, family, and she's like, yeah, I can put salmon on the Traeger. It's going to come out perfectly smoked, and we're going to have a fantastic dinner. And I've spent no more time than I would opening up a bag of salad.
Yep.
So the smoked salmon is what I've gotten rave reviews on the Traeger.
We'll have to do a review of all of our items in person one time, and I'll smoke some salmon for y'all to let you know up close in person after y'all each do 30-minute rides on the Peloton and feed my fish.
That's a hard pass.
All right. So with that being said, you got the pricing, you got my feedback. As I mentioned, again, the app version, there probably were some other things. There was nothing else that stuck out to me on the feature of the grill to pay a couple $100 on top of that, other than the app. And there are also bigger versions. Like I got the smallest, well, they're like tailgating versions, but this is the smallest like household size version of the type that I wanted. So with that being said, am I a sucker?
How much can you fit in there? No, we didn't. I don't think we really covered that, right?
No. Okay. Good point. This is your typical. I'm trying to think of a good example of this. It's your typical 3-4 burner gas grill you see at Lowe's.
Okay. No. That's perfect. That's a perfect example. I got it. Yeah. That's fine.
The other day, those big chicken leg quarters, like big thighs and the drumstick, all attached to the big ones. Mm-hmm. I had 8 of those on there at once.
Okay.
And so each one of those are like the size of my palm and a half type of thing.
Yeah.
Laying flat, you could do like 2 whole big fillets of salmon type of thing. So not huge, but plenty enough unless you're having a party and want to do tons and tons of stuff.
Yeah.
What was that? The decision maker if I'm a sucker, not here, Joe?
No. I just wanted to make sure it was the size of like a regular type of grill, and it sounds like it is, at least. So you're not a sucker. It's easy. I mean, grills are expensive. Even like if you walk in and just buy a propane grill at Lowe's, that is nothing. You're looking at like, I don't know, $150-$200 probably. And then you start walking up into the more featured aspects of a grill, and you're like $300-$400, whatever it may be. But smokers start at a different level. They just do. And even those cheaper ones, were the higher end, dollar value of the grills. And it's because they do something completely different, and they're constructed completely different. And if you're going to start to spend that amount of money, you might as well buy something that's worth it. So easy no for me, even though I weigh under guess because I have a no gauge on what this is,
Yeah. All right. So there's one no.
That's
gonna
one
be a
no.
torn verdict, or
I have one follow-up question I need to know before I deliver the ultimate verdict. How much time do you need between making the decision to have, let's say, salmon for dinner and then the salmon being ready to eat? Because on a traditional smoker, or if you were using like a big green egg or something like that, it takes a long time to get that thing rolling and ready to cook on, right? So how long do you need on this before you can actually cook?
great point. One of the biggest reasons I still use the knockoff old green egg is like wood-fired pizza, because I could get that thing up to like 800, 900 degrees. And it's really fun to make pizza with the kids, but it really does take like 30 to 40 minutes to get the coals burning, let it heat up, get to that. This Traeger, if I want to do something at 200, 300, 350, whatever, it probably takes 10, maximum 15 minutes to heat up.
It's decided. Not a sucker.
Not a sucker. All
Not a
right.
boy. Not a boy.
I made it. Well,
You're back on the bandwagon, man. It's good. It's good to feel it. It's good to
feels
feel
good to
it.
be on top. I'm coming back home. Am I not?
Yeah. You're coming back home. You're coming back home. That's right.
You're coming back home. That's it for this week's show. Thanks for hanging out with us on Call Me a Sucker, pretending each week buyer's remorse isn't a thing since 2022. We'll talk to you next week.